Sat Nam. So this is another new day, and everything in your life, everything in my life is giving me an opportunity to access more energy, more beauty, more lessons, more wisdom. And the key that opens up that energy, that helps it download into me is, hang on one second, is gratitude. The challenges come, like right now I got this big old challenge. I got this big old scar on my face. And the challenge is, loving myself and feeling beautiful and being grateful. They got all the cancer. And this is giving me more character. And there's challenges in business, and there's challenges in relationships, and there's challenges with you. And there's the challenge to just kind of check out sometimes. And right now, relationships are under the microscope of the Divine Mother, and she's using the cosmic weather, the sky, the stars and the planets, to really push your buttons and alert you to things you've probably tried to pretend aren't happening, but they are. And so we come back to, are you going to let this time in your life give you more energy or take it away? So what am I talking about? The full moon is going to be in Libra. The first one was at 0 degrees. This is at the end of degrees of Libra. And of course, the sun is in Aries. They're in opposition. Libra is about relationships. The ruling planet is Venus. This is about what makes it work. But there's other things combining right now. The Aries Chiron is not a wounded healer. It is now a warrior healer. And with the Aries in the sky right now, going under a little fence, with the Aries sun, and what just moved into Aries? Mercury. Mercury just moved into Aries. So we've been out of retrograde, but it might have felt like, are we really out of retrograde? Because I feel like my communications are all fucked up. I don't think people are understanding what I'm saying. Hell, I don't even understand myself. Well, rest assured, it's all about to get much better today, because we are beginning Mercury out of shadow and in the sign of Aries, which is much more comfortable for little Mercury. Mercury's been in Pisces, and Pisces is deep and dreamy, and it just doesn't work for Mercury. This, with Uranus in Taurus, which is going to be there for 7 years, and it's really going to make big changes in your life, in your relationships. So here's what I want you to ask yourself with your relationships. Are you in a relationship? Hey, Kay. Hey, everybody. I love you guys. Are you in a relationship, or are you using relationship? We're all going to use them sometimes. I think it's easy to, when you are with the love of your life, to just kind of, hey, Carol, God bless you too. My Mahanraj Singh, he's just so cute and yummy and easy for me to make him sort of a comfy couch. And we are getting disconnected, me and Mukunda. Mukunda's here, just in case anyone wants to know. And the biggest thing about the comfy couch is when I use his energy to make me feel better, with no real connection to what am I trying to fix, and respect for his energy. This Uranus transition in the next 7 years is going to be really about your relationship has to be unique for you in all of them. It has to be a place where you become more and more authentic. It has to honor that. It has to push you towards that. It can't be like a quaalude, like a comfy couch where you can just go to sleep, Things are going to change, especially the intimacy, sexually and passion and things you are creating, they will change. If you're lucky, both of you are spiritually stretching and growing. And guess what, folks? When that happens, sometimes you roll out of bed and you look at him and you go, oh my God, Who are you? How long have I had a relationship with this guy? Knowing that Uranus is going to surprise you and take you into places that you haven't gone before is going to make this time easier for you. And then going back to the original, when things we're feeling challenging, be grateful. Be grateful and know that everything happens in our life to create more wisdom, energy. Wisdom is an energy. More power. Power is an energy. More love. Love is an energy. I want you to really pay attention to yourself this weekend. There is a lot going on. In case you don't realize, Easter is actually, in some ways, one of the biggest astrological determined events. You know, it goes back to with the Judaish understanding and the Essenes, especially how mystical they were. Even their crucifixions and resurrection was ruled by the moon. So Easter is always right after the full moon, right after the full moon that is after the equinox. So we had an interesting equinox. That was powerful. Don't discount that and think about oh my God, what has gone on for you between March 22nd and now. Okay, so let's talk about that. That was like a weird Wizard of Oz moon because it was technically after the equinox, but it was on the same day. So the powers that be decided, well, it has to actually be on a different day. Minutes apart is not enough. Because we would have had then Easter on the 24th, but we didn't. And then it's like the universe has your back because it's the same energy again. It's still Aries Libra, but both of them are powerhouses because both of these full moon events are at the very beginning degrees and the very end. And when you know anything about astrology, it's those beginning and end degrees that are full of karmic lessons and have way more depth to them. So Friday is Good Friday. And I want to talk about this because Yogi Bhajan, you know, I'm a Kundalini girl, and I am really a Christian mystic, really scholared in, you know, the Essenes and the Christ consciousness and Yeshua ben Joseph and Mary Magdalene and the Mother Mary and her mother Anna. What I'm getting at is Yogi Bhajan talked about resurrection and, you know, other, like Nanak in his way, resurrection. He had Mahasamadhi. He was gone for 3 days, just like the Christ. In fact, Nanak means Christed consciousness. So that consciousness, you know, Krishna, long before Jesus, gave the throne to Jesus, the Christ throne. And then Jesus, when he left the plane, gave that throne, the next one that would sit on the throne, actually wasn't Nanak, because Nanak just had his own bright light. It was actually Guru Ram Das, which is the fourth Guru Sikh. So all of this is a part of what is going to happen with this full moon. Good Friday. I want you to breathe into that, being crucified. There's lots of ways you can breathe into this moon and bring this crucifixion energy in. And that is, why would you call Good Friday the day he died? Because that was the day he became God. You know, like us, God was in him. But it was the day he faced his biggest fears and ascended, elevated into a Lord. You know, a Lord is like Buddha, Krishna. There's only been a few on this planet that really reached this consciousness of avatar, and I know there's others, but that avatar consciousness, which we're going to talk about next week, but let's stay on where we are. So crucifixion. What is being crucified beyond his body is his fears. His fears that are keeping him from attaining his destiny. So when you do your full moon ritual, and ritual on the full moon is always about banishing, You want to crucify your doubt. You want to crucify your addiction. You want to crucify, the bad eating habits, the gossip, the judgment, anything you do, anything that tears down energy in yourself or others. Crucify that shit, and it's a bloody death. Our habits, our coping mechanisms, our judgment, I'm higher than mighty. We're hanging on to them. Letting go of them is like, I'll let go. No, it's not like that. You know that. It's so challenging, or it wouldn't still be with us. So crucifixion. And it's a Good Friday because we are being led by this amazing Father-Son energy, the Christ, asking us to, it's so interesting, isn't it, Carol? There is so much support. I mean, this is a vortex about him. And so we want to lean into the masters to help us be our best. Ask for help. Ask for help, whether the Christ consciousness makes sense or Jesus himself. These beings are evolving just like us. Where he is now, who knows? But just like, our parents and grandmothers, the masters are on the other side, and they are just waiting for you to ask for their help. So ask for help. And, I know on Saturday that we'll still be in that full moon energy, and we're going to have an awesome Kundalini class. Tonight, we're going to start preparing for it at the Tower of Light, the breath, sound, guided meditation healing under the Magdalene influence tonight at Great Divine Flow at 6:30. Anyways, let's get back. So Friday will be our time to really banish. And then Saturday and Sunday. Sunday is all about Easter. And why do we hide eggs? Because those are little babies. Those are the things that become great things, right? Also, Yogi Bhajan talked about resurrection. We need to resurrect every day. Now let's talk about the technology of resurrection. Resurrection is like a Mahasamadhi and then awakening. It's not like being born, because what happens when you're born? You get a new body, new parents, new life, and even when we want to rebirth ourselves, we kind of want to start off new. Resurrection isn't that. Resurrection is, you got this old body, it's been wounded, it's been flawed, you need to drop a lot of shit to give it life again. It's going to take belief and prayer and connection to the divine. It's going to take mantra and energetic execution of the highest for you to resurrect, to stand back up in whatever has gone wrong and walk again, live again, and fly, maybe for the first time. That's what resurrection is. Resurrection is about becoming the master. And, I like us to think of when the big golf game. So what do they call it? The masters, right? The best in golf. To become a master in golf, you have to practice and practice and practice. And you got to play the game and play the game and play the game. This is what resurrection and mastery is for you too as a human being. You've got to practice. You've got to do it again and again and again until you have mastered forgiveness and gratitude. This is a powerful week. These are powerful times. This is a massive healing. Part of the resurrection and crucifixion is all of your old ideas about relationships. That's got to change. I think, one of the things that is really interesting about the crucifixion of the Christ is the ones that were there, the bravest, the men kind of walked away, and give him, some compassion. In those days, if you were with them and you were a man, it's like they would have fucking killed him. Should they have been braver? I don't know, because then who would have carried it on? I don't know. But when you look at it, it is Mary and his mother and Magdalene that they're like fearless at the crucifixion. And, there is a technology in the Essene beliefs, and it's actually, through the Egyptian scholars, is that, some of the places in the pyramids are called the king's chamber, where they actually practice death. And we know this is a yogic practice to slow that heart rate down, slow that death down, slow the breath down, and you seem, you're gone. And in the great text, it's all about anointing the body and chanting, and the ones around it raising the energy so that the life force comes back to the person and they rise again. We're going to do some of this technology on the weekend and tonight. This is going to be an amazing year. Challenging. But I promise you this. If you meet every challenge as an opportunity to learn and increase your energy of love, compassion, and power and wisdom, you are going to grow exponentially in all areas of your life. I'm going to continue to talk about this relationship upgrade over the next months. And one of the main things is going to be how interconnected every relationship is, and we cannot compartmentalize anymore, and the detriment that is had on ourselves and others. So anyway, I love you. Come see me tonight. I think I'm going to record it. What I do is I record the Tower of Light, so the opening talk, then the sound healing and breath, and then the guided meditation. And you can get that from me for $10. I don't really do video because there's so much of it that's dark, and it's really better to get a good audio of it. So I'll make sure I get that done for you. I love you guys so much. Have the most blessed day. See you soon.